won't cost you much. If not, if you don't get this, they can cost you a lot. On that note, I'll see you on the road. Bye.
Get on my head. Get on my head. Get on my head.
What a lovely weather today, man. I mean, the only challenge with this GoPro is that I've set it up on my handlebar. Oh, look at this. Look at this. Okay. You got this is the lovely lake that we have in Hyderabad where all these, this fence has been created so people don't really do some fancy stuff. The idols get immersed here. Yeah. So the Lord Ganesha, the idols get immersed, and the festival of Lord Ganesha is a big one in the country. May Lord Ganesha give everybody health, wealth and prosperity. I'm kind of trying to guess which gear I am in because this GoPro angle is actually obstructing me a bit. It's lovely, there's no traffic on the road. The temperature is 25 degrees, it's 7:30 in the morning and I'm having an absolute blast on my Phantom. Music playing in your ears, wind hitting your chest, a bit of a turbulence on your helmet, that feeling of being absolutely worry-free, stress-free is just so therapeutic. Because I really can't see the speedo console. So I'm actually doing a bit of a guesswork and I hope I'm in 6th gear. Oh yes, I am in 6th gear.
A few moments later.
Are you by any chance wondering what am I inserting into my ears? These are called the earplugs. I'm sure a lot of you would have seen. But that reminds me that, a lot of us actually, you spend a lot of money on your gears. You buy a riding jacket, a riding trouser, a nice little helmet. You got a good pair of gloves as well. But I think what we actually forget is that while we're doing all this to protect ourselves, and wearing a helmet obviously to protect your head, but a little people know that protecting your hearing is also so very important. I don't know how many of you are aware of the fact, but the reality is when you're riding on a motorcycle, cutting through wind, and with the wind turbulence, and you're riding about 120, 130 kilometers speed, trust me, the levels of noise inside your helmet, whatever the helmet may be, it doesn't really matter. However expensive your helmet is, whatever it could be, it really doesn't matter. It doesn't cut all the noise inside your head. Usually the decibel levels could be anywhere between 95 to 100 decibels inside your helmet while you're riding. Because of which, you will not know about it initially. You think it's all fine, but after about riding for about 2-3 hours, when you actually stop your bike, get down, get your helmet off, and then you'll suddenly start realizing there's a bit of a buzz that's happening in your ears, that's going through your ears, and that is actually called the temporal threshold shift. That's temporary because your mind needs time to get adjusted because you've been riding through wind and all the noise in your helmet. Now you suddenly stop. It's got to take time to get adjusted to it, and that's the reason. And that is the reason why it's called the temporal threshold shift. It's temporary, but it'll go off after some time. It's very interesting that people. Also, when you're riding at that speeds, at 120, 130, and there's a huge amount of noise being created in your helmet, your brain now has to do a lot of additional activity, right? Your brain has to cut through all this nonsense, which is basically wind blasts and everything else, and try and focus on the most important elements, the honking of a motorcycle, the siren of an ambulance, right? So your mind has to do that filtering. And trust me, when you kind of finish 2-3 hours of ride and you get down, you are actually more fatigued because your brain is in an overdrive mode, right? And it really does no good for anybody, to be honest. So if you want to kind of feel a little less fatigued and you really want to focus and enjoy your ride, ladies and gentlemen, it is very, very important that you actually look after your hearing. We need to have all our senses intact, right? And hearing is one of our most important senses. And trust me, a lot of people underestimate the importance of protecting your hearing. Okay. Now, what do I do to protect my ears is I use earbuds. Let me come closer and show you what these earbuds are. Earbuds available in the market, but the ones that I use are from Alpine, and these Please don't mind, they could be looking a little dirty, but that's the kind of earbuds that I've been using. And I've been using this for several years now. I mean, this is my fourth or fifth pair of earbuds. But in the market, ladies and gentlemen, you'll find there are different types of earbuds that you have. And a lot of earbuds actually come with something called NRR, which is called the noise reduction rating, right? Usually a good decibel inside your helmet is anywhere between 80 to 85 decibels is what, it's a safe level. It's a safe level for you to kind of ride through. But because the decibel levels go up, and by the way, when the noise or the decibel level goes from 85 to 95, you think that's a 10-point increase, but actually in the terminology of audio hearing and things, 85 to 95 is like almost doubling the amount of sound inside your helmet. So hence, 85 is a good range. And all these earbuds actually come for an NRR, come with an NRR rating on it. But let's assume if you buy an earplug and the NRR rating says it's about, let's say, 25 or 30. If the NRR rating says 25 or 30 on your earplugs, that does not necessarily mean that your decibels are going to be reduced by 30. It's a little misleading. So let's say your NRR rating for your earplugs is 33. Okay, but the actual decibels it will reduce is not 33. So the formula, and it's a complex formula, but I'll try and break it down. So 33 minus 7 by 2 is about 13, right? So that is the amount of decibel noise it will reduce. And NRR rating of 33 actually means 13 decibels less. So if you have 95 decibels in your helmet, so you can imagine with that earplugs, you're going to reduce by 13 decibels. I mean, it's a little complicated, but what I'm saying is that don't purely go by what's the NRR rating. So as I said, you get different sorts of earplugs, sorry. You get the foam ones, which are industrial ones, which have a 20-25 NRR rating. Use and throw, they can fly off, it doesn't matter, very cheap. But the ones like no noise or loop are expensive at 2,000 rupees. So you may have to think about it when you're buying expensive ones. Be very careful with it. So what I just spoke about, the temporal threshold shift, right? That happens quite often with long rides. But if you were to wear a earbud or earplug, sorry, it will not probably happen. And if you continue riding for hours together, see, nothing happens instantaneously, right? So it's all a very gradual process of any sort of an impact that you may have. It takes a little while before it actually impacts you. So it's not that you're riding for a long distance and without an earplug and all of a sudden, boom, your ears stop functioning. That's not how it works. But it takes a little bit of a time. It's gradual. You continue doing something like this, through several temporal threshold shifts. Eventually, there will be a time when you will start getting into what is called as tinnitus. Now, tinnitus is basically the ringing of the ears. It's a very shrill noise that you start hearing when you're either in silence or when you're sleeping in the night. And it can be quite intruding and it can be quite challenging to bear with tinnitus. And almost about 20% of motorcycle riders actually go through tinnitus because of not probably using the right set of earplugs, right? I mean, you could have your AirPods dangling into your ears with active noise cancellation, but they don't do any good. So getting a good set of earbuds is what I think, earplugs is what is going to help. And I think we just cannot ignore our sense of hearing. So while tinnitus can be caused, I'm hoping I'm pronouncing it correctly, can be caused could have several other reasons as well. While we spend a lot on other gears, let's try and get this small little equipment that we have, which actually protects our hearing and makes the rides more smoother, less fatigued. Yeah, so I just want to do this video quickly to kind of raise some awareness around the earplugs. So on that note, I'm going to head riding. Let's get my earplugs in, and there you go. I really can't hear much. Yeah, by the way, let me take these earplugs out. A lot of people complain that wearing earplugs, I really can't hear the noise around. That's all nonsense, right? I mean, honestly speaking, they really don't cut you off from complete noise around. I mean, I've been wearing these earplugs. I can still listen to my music, take phones. I can hear to all the noise around me. But the intensity is much lower. And because intensity is much lower, it really helps me focus on the road. And obviously, it's going to, safeguard my hearing capabilities. So let me get onto the road now. So good luck, take care, safe riding. Get these, they don't cost you much. If you don't get this, they can cost you a lot. On that note, I'll see you on the road. Bye.
So, ladies and gentlemen, on that note, please get yourselves a pair of good earplugs and save the ordeal of going through tinnitus. Got to break my rides into two components. One is when I make a video, and and one is when I just ride and have fun. That's about it, nothing else. It's just one camera that I'll carry with me, which is on my chin, and that's about it. No fiddling, nothing. So which basically means in a week I'll have to ride twice. One is just for the pleasure of riding, and the other is for the pleasure of making some nice YouTube videos. Yeah, I will be reaching my destination for breakfast, and I'm gonna finish my breakfast and then ride back home and have a good Sunday. So I hope the video today has been useful. If it is, then as I said, give me the thumbs up, the like, and subscribe, and some comments, of course. And on that note, take good care of yourselves, if possible, a few others. Bye for now.
To make a new video, so please whatever.